Project Blunderhawk.
Hi friends, and welcome to Project Blunderhawk episode 4. Didn't expect to be putting this out so soon because I didn't think I'd have enough time to work on it, but we're getting to the meaty parts of the build now. So what we're doing before we're fitting anything together, now working on the potential pinning for the wings. Some people online say you can use some very strong glue to hold them on, which is probably works in some cases. I'm not so confident working with glue, but I will be using, obviously, I've decided to go for a combination of glue and pinning. So what we've got for the wings, they attach to this bottom tray from the fuselage, and they mainly the majority of them go into this side panel here, is glued onto this side panel here. So what I did, I've also what I've got is these 3mm rods off of, I think I bought them off Amazon in the end, because we're going to need larger pins for the wings, obviously. So the main important thing for me for this part is to drill holes in straight, so these rods can go through this fuselage straight. So to do that, I made a little template out of plasticard. This one didn't turn out perfectly to perfectly fit on this side here, but it fit enough for me to drill some holes in this so that they marked on here, and then I can use this on both sides so that it the holes here will line up on this side and on this side. Remember to do it on backwards that way, and so that the holes that go through this fuselage section are lined up properly. So I created this little piece of plasticard which jams up against the body here. It jams up against this lined up here, and with the top of the section. I haven't quite got that lined up properly. So, and I put some double-sided tape on it to glue it together, and you can see, and then you just mark these 3 holes on. I'll explain why there's a third hole at them in a minute. So you mark it on that side, then you flip it over. You flip this over as well, obviously, so that it's so that it matches the mirror side of it, and then you pop it on that side. You'll see there's light through here, but you put a little mark on there, and then you can use your pin vise to, where the marks are, you can use your pin vise to make a pilot hole. And then what you want to do is build that up from a small hole, maybe to 2mm little divot in there, a little divot in here, so that you can guide your drill. And then you want to get your 3mm drill piece, and you drill through the 2 sides to make sure that the drill. So to go through this, I was worried about when drilling through these holes is to make sure that it's directly down straight on both sides, perpendicular on both sides. So there's a couple of purchases this week. The first one was this drill guide. It has sizes from 2mm up to 10mm, and you can move these pieces around. So because the edge of this piece has got an edge on it, I had to move this 3mm hole. You can take these metal cylinders out, and I had to move it to this end one to get it to line up with that, and then I had to move it to where the 5mm one to get it to line up with that. And then what I basically did was I had this on a bench so that it's landing on this bit, and I had this on top, which is you'll see is perfectly 90mm guide down, so it goes through, you can go through straight. And then you obviously line it up to your divots that you've made and then drill straight down. So I've drilled these 4 holes in it for these brass rods, and they actually were pretty much exactly lined up. So that one goes in there. You'll see it is slightly off. It's slightly high on this side, but when I come to drilling the holes for the wings, I'm planning to get a longer 3mm drill bit. I don't know if it's available, but I will try and find one where I can go through this and then into the wing. Obviously I might glue the wing on before I do it, and then or stick it on very lightly to be able to drill those holes in, because I need to come back and do that side as well. And then this one goes through, and you'll see inside it practically lines exactly up with the hole on the other side. This one was much straighter with the model, so that one's a much straighter fit. But these bits that stick out obviously will be sticking into the wings to give it extra hold. Once the wings will drill the holes in, to go along with the glue as well. They're not very, a lot of people might say they're not very long pins. I don't think you necessarily need very long pins if the pins are tight enough. But the other thing that I will be doing to add an extra hold on this one is where these, you'll see where there's a 3rd dot on here. I will be drilling another pin down of these, but not a full length one of these, and it will be going down at an angle, a certain distance into the wing. And because that pin will be coming down at an angle, the 2 pins together will lock into place with the fuselage, so it will lock those wings pretty much straightly secure into place. So I'm not worried at all about these pins being able to hold the wings on it. I think it'll going to be incredibly strong once I put the smaller pins in at an angle to create that offset between these two, between these two and the middle pin, which will create that locking effect on those wings. So yeah, main takeaway was to create the templates. I did create this other template to go on the inside and mark on the inside where it should be going, but I didn't really need that in the time, because this was actually pretty accurate at drilling it at a 90-degree angle. So that's the update for this week. Is we've got these pins in. We can now move on to drilling the holes into the wings. Like I said, I'll be looking to see if I can get an extra long 3mm bit that might go all the way through, so I can go into the wing from going through these 2 holes to make sure it lines up perfectly. Yeah, that's mainly that. The other purchase that we've had this week towards the project is I've bought this 18mm auger drill bit, which is going to be for drilling the hole for the flight stand. So that is a little bit more scary because it's a larger hole, but I think I'm going to try and do the same thing that I've done with this and make a guide, so make sure that it goes down exactly at 90 degrees, so that there's no the stand isn't offset in any direction. And yeah, that's pretty much the update. Wasn't expecting to get this done this soon, but I'm super happy with how that's turned out as well. So yeah, once the wings are in place, I can start putting the back and the front of the fuselage together, and then we will, but before that I think there's a bit of work to be done on the flight stand hole, which is going to go into the engine part that fits in this area here. So yeah, hope that helps anyone that's looking into this. I mean, you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it, but I feel like I felt like these 2 pins and the third pins that are offset will be enough to hold them. I mean, it doesn't even have to be offset downwards. It could be, I could offset them so that they go that way, you know, so that they go through the model this way, and that will be enough with these other angles to hold them in place. But yeah, I'll have a think about that, on how I'm going to do that, and yeah, I'll do an update once that's in place. The pins that are going to be going offset are going to be smaller, are not going to be full length. Obviously, they're not going to go fully through the model. They'll just be smaller pins that connect to this, pin it to this fuselage part. So yep, super happy with how it's going at the moment, and yeah, do another update soon. Thanks for following the series, and yeah, hopefully after the next part we'll be ready to start putting the bulk of the model together. And then I think the other bits is going to be, once the fuselage is together, once the flight stand hole is drilled, and once the nose cone is on, you're kind of 90% of the way there. So yep, thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one. Cheers.